Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session of Business Bitesize. Just to remind you, my name's Will Abbott. I'm a partner at Randall & Payne, and I lead the business advisory team here. And we often get asked a simple question, really: what is it actually you do in business advisory, and how can you bring value to us, to our business? Help us achieve our goals. So I thought I'd just do a quick kind of summary of what our approach is. So our advisory support really is built around 5 key stages. And step 1 is just understanding where you are now. And we are accountants, right? But we do believe that it's important to understand where you are with the numbers. So the numbers aren't the be all and end all, but ultimately they are the output, right? So the accounts, the management accounts, do measure how the business is performing. And there are other KPIs we may need to monitor beyond just the financials, but ultimately the profit you generate and the cash you generate is pretty much 90% of what you need to do. So we start by just trying to understand 7 key numbers in the business, what we consider to be the key metrics, just so you have a picture of where you are now. And then, perhaps no surprise, the next step beyond that is to consider, where could we go? What could it look like? So again, what could those numbers look like? What could the sales figure be? How much profit could we potentially be generating? We often get asked, what are other businesses doing in a similar sector? What are other SMEs achieving around some of these key metrics? Just an understanding then of what's possible for the business. So this is really just exploring what could happen, and then thinking about what the impact might be for you as a person. So, typically there's significant opportunities in most businesses. So once we know where we're trying to get to, or what the future could look like, what we then need to do is to understand what those gaps are. So what are the gaps between where we are now and where we potentially could be? And what we see really quite typically is focusing on 5 numbers to improve. And if we were to apply 5% improvement, which for many businesses is achievable, we're seeing a 50 to 100k improvement in bottom line numbers. And maybe with some of the larger businesses, we're seeing 2 or 3 times that improvement potential. So we want to understand where the gaps are around these 5 key numbers, and that might involve sales, might involve gross margin, might involve net margin after costs. So just 5 things we look at, understand where the gaps are between your business, what it could be achieving. So the next, perhaps the most important thing, is how we're going to close the gap. What actions are we going to take to close those gaps? So the where, if you like, and agreeing what the gaps are, is the financial plan. Step 4 is then to build an action plan to deliver it. And it gets very broad, the conversation here. So typically it might be around sales, but that can involve marketing, understanding where we differentiate ourselves, what kind of businesses and clients we're working with. It can get quite operational in terms of, do we have processes in place for the key functions in the business, because that drives efficiency, which ultimately reduces costs and drives profit. So the hows that we deal with go very far beyond the financial aspects of the business. As I said, the financials really are the outputs. That's the end game. That's what happens at the end. But there's lots and lots of things that need to be right in the business to get those numbers right. So, as I said, a very broad conversation, covers lots of areas. And then the final step really is to monitor what's going on. So are we achieving, are these actions we are taking achieving the results that we expected? If they do, are we able to do more? If they do, are we what are we able to move on and do next? And if they're not seeing the improvements, if that's not having the impact that we expected, why is that? Let's understand that. What else do we need to be doing? So I've drawn it as a linear process, but it's actually more of a circular process. So we get to the end of monitor stage. We can then reassess where we are now, start to set the next lot of targets. And this process has been developed really to help the complete range of businesses. So our advisory support packages start from £3,000 a year, which is aimed at smaller businesses, and they go up to 10 times and more that for larger, more complex organizations, where the value being delivered might be 10 times more than it is an SME or a smaller micro business. But I think the software that we have available, the cloud-based particularly, just helps us. I've talked about this before. It just helps us to deliver this kind of support very efficiently. And I think, again, with the smaller businesses, the key is not to overwhelm the business owners and the managers with too many things to do at once. So all our support packages are built around monthly catch-ups as a minimum, accountability meetings to ensure the agreed actions are moving forward, and if not, to offer some help and support and understanding as to what the challenges might be that's stopping that happening. And we're achieving some great success with this. We get excited when we achieve success. We get excited when we see the impact we're having on clients and individuals with their businesses. And that just makes us want to do it more often and with more clients, because we know we can add lots of value. So, as I said, I often get asked, not least by people in my own firm, what we actually do in business advisory. And I wanted to give you that oversight. And to say, actually, we're really happy to talk to people that feel that the business can be doing more, and they're looking for some help and guidance and support to go out and achieve that, because ultimately that's great for the community. That generates jobs, it generates employment, it generates cash that's being spent in the economy. It frankly helps the economy to grow, as well as helping individuals and us personally to achieve our own goals and targets. So yeah, love to have a chat with you in a bit more detail about what we can do. But if you're looking for help and support, you're looking for advice from experienced people to help you drive your business forward, then please do get in contact. Thank you.